And we're on. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to everybody in the sanctuary, and good morning to everybody in live streaming. And I hope that despite different type of holidays, that you did have a great Thanksgiving. I know I did, and I'm sure that everyone here did as well. And it's different, and it's good to do change. Very funny, Annie, if you're listening. Annie called me up on Wednesday, and she goes, "I am so ticked off." And I said, "Why are you so ticked off?" And she said, "Because I'm not coming to your house for dinner tomorrow." But I told her we will be doing that next week, and next year rather, and you're all invited. So remember last week, and Danny, you will remember this, when I was saying that when it rains, we have a choice of, we have a choice of how we feel about that, and we can make it something miserable, or we can make it something great. And so Sherry put out an email last week, maybe Monday, Tuesday, and evidently where she lives out in the country, it was snowing. And she said that she looked out and she was like, oh, snow. And she was doing this whole dissertation in her mind about the snow and how she didn't want snow. She wasn't ready for snow and all of that. And then all of a sudden she had this change, because as she watched it, when you live out in the country and all the trees and everything, it was so beautiful that her whole perspective changed, and she allowed herself just to take the time to sit quiet with the snow and watch it, and then realize it was such a gift and it was so beautiful. So just a story to back my story about rain. So thank you, Sherry, for sharing that. And it gave me an idea. So for you guys here, but for all you guys listening as well, how about sending me your little stories, emailing me your little stories, and then each week I can share your stories with everybody so that we can stay more connected with each other. So if you have a little story and you want to share that story, send it in to me, and we'll do that for the whole month of December. And you can just even do a Christmas wish, a Christmas blessing, a New Year's wish, something, and I will share them. So I thought that was a great idea. Do we agree?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we agree. Okay. So anyhow, for those guys that are here, please turn off your phones if you haven't already. And I will just do the readings today because you don't have them. Oh, we apologize to all of you that are on live streaming. Our PowerPoint today decided it did not want to wake up, so we don't have PowerPoint, but you have me, so it's as good as it gets. So anyhow, so our vision and mission at Unity Spiritual Center, a spiritual community of love, peace, and acceptance, creating an inclusive spiritual community, fellowship, service, and community outreach. And now I would like to ask Tom Kleber if he would come up and if he would read the daily word, light the Christ candle, and do the flames of faith. Tom.
Thank you, Reverend Aubrey Lynn. The daily word for today, November 29th, 2020, is faith. My faith lights my path and guides my way. As Advent season begins, my thoughts turn to faith. I believe in my capacity to be hopeful, assured, and strengthened as I embark on this journey of faith. Faith keeps me open to discovering reasons to have hope, even when I do not yet see any evidence of my hopefulness. Faith gives me assurance that my indwelling divinity will lead me to accomplish all that I set out to achieve. Faith fortifies me with the necessary strength to transcend my limited human knowledge, allowing divine wisdom to guide my thoughts and actions. I believe in good things to come, and I believe in my ability to bring those things into manifestation. I am grateful for the gift of faith. And Romans 15:13, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that you may abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. We light the Christ candle today as a reminder that Christ is within us, which means that we have the power to choose how we will look at things, how we will view things, and have faith that all things will work together for good.
And as we begin our flames of faith, we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the underlying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. So as Tom lights the first candle, we light this candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony, equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. And we light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And lastly, we light a candle for all those who are yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them at this center, and for all religions unnamed in this ceremony. Thank you, Tom. So I'm going to talk today about your dreams. What is your dream? And well, as most of you know, I certainly did have a dream and my favorite song, but we weren't able to do it today because we don't have licensing, but you know, it's I Had a Dream from ABBA or Mamma Mia, and I had a dream, a song to sing. And my dream was to be a unity minister. And here I am. It came true. And then Renee and I had a dream, let's write a book. And it started with Renee thinking about doing a baby book for newborns, and somehow it morphed into a children's book on COVID. Both of these things were unknown. It was unknown how I would become a unity minister, and it was certainly unknown how we could possibly do a book. And yet we're getting ready to print the second book this week. So you cannot say that, well, you're young and you have all this talent, because, well, Renee, yes, I know you're much younger than me, but neither one of us are spring chickens. But talent, we all have hidden talent that we haven't even tapped into yet. See, we win at life when, if we're afraid, we continually move forward towards our expansion or adventure, or dare to follow a dream. Now, interesting enough, Renee and I had no fear about doing what we did, but we didn't have a clue. Since sometimes you get an idea in your head and go, yeah, like, how would I ever do that? Except we didn't go down that road at all. We just didn't. So let me tell you about a different story. In the book we're doing for the Zoom book club, Einstein and the Rabbi, Naomi, the author, tells us about a congregant that came in for counseling. And her name was Maya. And Maya had this master plan to go to New York, and she was going to be on Broadway, so on and so forth. Yet she was confused at what to do. She lived in LA. She had trouble committing to her life in LA because she had this master plan over here. So, well, if I do all of this stuff, how am I going to get to New York? And then she met a gentleman that she really liked, and they were very fond of each other. Well, I can't commit to him because my master plan is I'm going to New York. So her life was this continuum. Meanwhile, she was working in a clothing store. So she came to the rabbi and said, Rabbi, you're going to help me. I don't know what I'm doing. So the rabbi just said, stop. And I was impressed because I would have said the same thing. So she said, if you're driving down a block, how far can you see if you're driving down the block? So Maya looked at the rabbi, you're giving me driving lessons, and I came for help. And she said, the answer is 2 blocks. When you're driving down a street, you can see 2 blocks. So she said, you have this big master plan, and you're looking 3,000 miles away. And what you need to deal with what is right here in front of you right now. You don't have to plan your whole life out to get to the master plan. You have to look ahead only 2 blocks. Interesting thought. So the rabbi said to her, ask yourself for the next 2 months, can you be happy? 2 months, can you be happy for the next 2 months? Can you be happy with your job? Yes. Can you be happy with your boyfriend? Yes. Can you be happy in LA? Yes. So meantime, how about getting serious about acting and go start auditioning? Can you handle 2 blocks? Can you handle just 2 months? So going back to the original story, Renee and I were able to muddle through figuring out how to do illustrations by only looking ahead 2 blocks. Because if either one of us would have said, how in God's name are we going to do this? It never would have happened. If we dwelled on, we don't know a thing about publishing a book or writing a book or doing illustrations, we never would have gotten that far. So what you need to know then is, besides having our own individual DNA, each of us has our own path, and it's a journey in life, and it can take many roads, and it doesn't matter how old you are. You know, this thing, oh, my time has passed, oh, bunk. You know, write a book or sing a song or paint a picture, do something great with the rest of your life. So only our own limits is what can limit our nature. That's the only thing that can do it. How can I undo these pages, Jules? So, dreaming. Blaming everything on Jules today. So, we lose our ability to dream because we're always looking in the rear view mirror. We're looking behind us. We're not looking in the windshield and seeing those 2 blocks in front of us. We're looking behind us. So I ask you, can you start to resist looking back at things that didn't work? So what? I could tell you a whole bunch of things in my life that didn't work, but I could tell you more things that did work. You have to trust your instincts. Your instincts are God, or Holy Spirit, or the divine, or the beloved, right? Your gut level feeling, that's God, the divine, Holy Spirit. There's no such thing as a coincidence. Coincidence is God, Holy Spirit, the divine, the beloved. God is speaking to us at all times, showing us a way, a path, giving us an idea, and we just, See, we can do anything within reason. Obviously, we can't be a fish or fly like a bird, but within the limits of our humanness, our nature, we have unlimited possibilities. And that's the part. And you've heard it before, you know this. You guys could say the same things up here, you know it. But the opposite of that unlimited potential is that fear word. You get stuck on the big picture like Maya. She couldn't live her life 2 blocks at a time, 2 months at a time, because she had to get to New York to be a Broadway star. So sure, you need to plan. Everybody needs to plan and set an intention and create a timetable, but you have to be flexible in that. You know, I have a thing about rules, and I think rules are guidelines. You have to be flexible. You have to know when to bend so that you don't break. And you have to be gentle with yourself. You have to be gentle with yourself. You know, when we did the first book, Renee was in a panic and said, I can't draw people and I can't do this. So for 3 weeks, we didn't talk about it. And 3 weeks later, she handed me a whole book complete with all the pictures. So I didn't call her, I didn't ask her, I said, where's the pictures, where's the pictures? She didn't call me and keep saying, I can't do it, I can't do it, and I can't do it. So I just went like this, let it be, and 3 weeks later, she came up with a whole book done. Whole book done. Because she was gentle with herself, she gave herself time, I was gentle with her, I had empathy, I had compassion. You know I literally cannot make a straight line with a ruler. So anything that, if you can make a straight line with a ruler, you're top in my book. So there's this amazing thing about ourselves. We can do anything if we set our mind to it. And why is this a true statement? Because there is a universal mind. There's a universal intelligence. There's something that makes this world go round. Yesterday was so funny. So I was walking the river and lake with Rose, and so I said to her, hey, do you get that while we're walking and this planet is just moving and moving and moving? And she looked at me, she said, wow, that's the most profound thing I've ever heard. But I was just in awe of the beauty and nature. And she just was cracking up laughing at me. I'm not sure why. But, you know, but think about it. There's this whole big round planet and it's moving and we don't fall off it. We're like on it like glue, like white on rice. It's such a great thing. So because there is this universal power, there is something that holds planet Earth up there and keeps us on it. Something more intelligent than we can even imagine. So there's that intelligence, there's a power higher than we can even imagine or understand. But that's the good part about it. You know, we were going through a period of in the last book club where we were like, okay, so what is God, what is God, and what is God, and all of that kind of stuff, which is a great thing because we talk, we think. But what I realized is we don't have to know, because when we try to label, we take that mystery out of it. We take the mystical out of it. We take the beauty. The minute you give it a name, it becomes something, and then that something doesn't measure up to what you think it should be. So the wisest person in the universe cannot tell you what it is with a capital I. And then in this whole new thought teaching, it's based on there's a power in the universe for good and you can use it. That's the whole teaching. There's a power. There is a power in the universe and you can use it. And people do use it. People who don't even understand metaphysical, people who don't even go to church. Some use it for good And unfortunately, by the power of their mind, some use it not for good. So what does it all mean exactly? The universe always says yes, there's a power, we can use it. There's a universal mind. What we really need to understand is it is all God and it's all good. It's that simple. It's all God. It's all whatever word. I really am getting to where it's all a mystery. It's all mystical. It's all amazing. And that takes all of the what word is God out of the picture. It's all mystical. It's all majestic. It's all awesome. So whatever you want to call it, I say don't label it. God's calling right now. I can hear that. You hear God calling? So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you interpret the world, the universe. What matters is the level of belief. Because I don't care how much you have intellectually. There was a man in the church, my first church that I co-created with and I was an assistant minister, Alex, he did the sound. We had a big sound room, and he did sound every week. He could quote everything from the Science of Mind textbook. He could go through Science of Mind 100, 200, 300, and 400. In fact, in classes, you had to ask him, please, not to answer the questions because you needed the rest of the class not to be intimidated by it. But his life was one of illness, poverty, not good. So you can memorize or have a memory that sees things and memorizes things. But if you are not embodying, if you're not taking all of that information, see, I would rather you have less information, less facts, less stories, and the basis of the teaching, and embody that and bring it through from your head to your heart. Because until you bring that together, until it's a continuum, until your beliefs is so embodied inside of you, all the knowledge in the world isn't going to take away illness or poverty or unhappiness. Does that make sense? No? That makes sense? Okay. So it's written. Oh, and what's the difference between the word God and the word good? Who knows? Anybody?
An O.
Huh?
An O.
An O, 1 0, right, an O, exactly. So the word God was originally good. The word God was good. It was the word and it was good. And the only difference is an O. I just wanted to throw that in for fun. So it's written. Now we all know this. As you believe, so it shall be. Right? We all know that. As much as you can believe. How much can you believe? As much as you believe. You want to believe more? Believe more. It's that simple. So in this teaching, we say thoughts are things, right? We say thoughts are things. So if you think a little, you get a little. Please, sir, Oliver, can I have some more? Or you can say, please, sir, can I have some more? Which would you rather have? Which bring your biggest begging bowl, not your little one. If you think you can, you will. If you think you can't, you won't. And it goes on and on and on. And we know all of these things, but do we actually take time to think about them? All the little, in fact, I don't know, I think it was with Jules or Rose, but I always say it's like when something's happening, I go, oh God, God in heaven. And I think it was with you this week, and I said, wait a minute, not God in heaven, God within. And yeah, it was with you. And I said, wait a minute, we got to change that. Because we're so used to saying, oh my God in heaven, and yesterday I was doing something, and I went, oh my God, within. Because we still have that separation thought from childhood. Like, the God up there instead of the God in here. And from the Bible, we know that what? As a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. What are we thinking today? What are we thinking? What are we thinking about? And the Greek philosophers understood a lot. Aristotle said, what we expect, that we find. I always knew this was going to happen. I always knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. What we expect, that we find. I always get parking spaces, and I do. My father, when he was alive, used to say, how do you do that? How do you get those parking spaces? And my sister Barbara, who is New Thought, but she's also kind of hippie, leftover 60s, and she could, one time we were in church, and she was in my church, and she said, but I can't get past parking spaces. So what you think is what you get. So it's so up to us. And if you can just do shift and have fun with it. Shakespeare says there's nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Think about the rain, think about the snow, think about it. So we've all heard all these quotes, right? We've heard them over and over. And I believe some of you put a lot of stock in them because they really are true statements. They really are. But do you really believe by changing your mind, you can change your life? Do you really believe it? I'm here to tell you can, because I've done it. I've done it over and over again. And each shift, each transformation, each different place is bigger and better. And you think it doesn't get any better than this, and then it gets better. So it's also good. And the universe is saying yes, it's saying yes, so you have to watch what you're putting into it. This is kind of like a back to basics kind of talk today. We're like computers, garbage in, garbage out, good in, good out. So this is not a new revelation on anyone's part. Everything I'm saying today you already know. We just need to be reminded, because this information is old as time itself. It's what the master teacher Jesus taught us. That's just that. Jesus healed people to the level of their belief. So if we could get more in touch with the mystery and the magic, we could get more in touch with that. If we could just reach out and believe we can touch the hem of the garment. Just that. Greater things than I, you can do also. And that's where that embodiment part comes from. That's the part within you that says, I know. I know without a doubt, I know. You can climb any heights. You can rise up. You can choose to live while you're alive through fear and desperation, or you can choose to die while you're alive instead of living. I refuse to be the walking dead. I absolutely refuse. So in one of the stories in Dr. Phil's books, he speaks about a little boy asking if he lets go of the balloon, will it go real high? And Dr. Phil says, yes. It's what's inside the balloon that makes it go real high. Now, isn't that true about us? Like our thoughts, beliefs, our perception, our fears, our doubts. We can either lift up or we can be paralyzed in a state of complete inertia. So choice, we always have a choice. At any given moment, we can stop sabotaging ourselves. Look at all the Hallmark movies. Boy meets girl, boy likes girl, boy hates girl, girl hates boy. And then one's afraid of love, one's afraid of commitment. And so then they start to get together and then they sabotage the relationship, and one's packing their bag and going back to Chicago, the other one's going back to LA. And then as they're going like this, all of a sudden it hits them that this is all good, and they fly back to each other, they get in each other's arms, the snow comes down, and it's a happy ending. Is that not a Hallmark movie? That is a Hallmark movie. Yes, yes. I told Leanne was texting me last night, and she said, what special was on PBS? And I said, I just put on Hallmark so I can grow up. So, anyhow, but we do sabotage. We do sabotage everything. It's too good to be true. So before you put me, I'm going to back away. I'm not going to let that happen to me again. So negative self, that negative self-talk. Oh my God. It sounds easy, and I'm here to tell you it's not that easy. But can you go 2 blocks ahead? Can you just go 2 blocks ahead? Can you be okay for the next 2 months? Can we get through Christmas? Get your gifts out and mail because you're not going to be able to go wherever you want to go. Get your cards out. By the way, I bought cards. I hope you didn't buy them too.
I did.
You did? Okay. So we'll talk about that on Tuesday. So we have Christmas cards that I'll be sending out.
I got stickers too.
Okay. So wouldn't you rather just lay it all down? Just lay it all down. Let people be who they are. Accept them for who they are. If it's too much for you, bless them and move away. I don't mean geographically moving away. Don't keep people in your life that are stressing you. And sometimes it's family, and sometimes find a way just to make more space. Just make more space for yourself. So yeah, it's easy and it's not easy. I get that. But waking up happy and waking up in good moods is the beginning of all of that. And sometimes it takes time to acknowledge what it is that you hold true for yourself is indeed a lie. Sometimes it's a lie. And sometimes you have to look at that. That's kind of the hard part. Sort of like the circus elephants, they take these poor baby elephants and they tie them up so tight they can't move. And then by the time they're older, they take all of the restraints off them and the elephants don't move because they think they can't. Because they've been programmed. And after a while, they stop trying. And that's what we do. We paralyze ourselves. We put us in such restrictions. We're so mean to us. Our self-talk is so miserable. And then we become paralyzed and we can't move. So your dream, what dream? I don't have a dream. It's no fun when you don't have a dream. I love having dreams. So where are your dreams? What are your dreams? And it doesn't mean necessarily doing something as writing a book or something. It could be something great with volunteering. It could be something great with healing family issues. It could be anything, but what is your dream? What is it? What is it? It's written, and I was just talking about it. It's the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, and the kingdom is within. It's within. So how do we get there? What is unity based on? Prayer. So in this teaching, we use affirmative prayer, a spiritual prayer, to know the truth for ourselves. So we all know what that means. It means we don't beseech God. We don't beg God. We don't ask God, please, 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 give me, give me, give me. But what we know instead is that we acknowledge that there is one power. There is one power. Acknowledge that we are in fact a child of that power, that we're not separate from that power. And then we know, we declare, I make this statement of truth for myself, whatever your words are. Just make your declaration. This is what I know. No matter what happens in the next month through this holiday season, I will not allow the negativity of other people to affect my happiness. That's a simple prayer, just that simple. You thank God and you release it and you let it go. But don't nullify it by saying, I hope that works. Because then the whole prayer is just went. It just went. So, mystical, mystery, magical. Better words, I think. Better words, I think. So let us embrace this. Let us embrace the mystical, the mystery, and reach out to be with it, inside and outside. So as we come to a close today, and if you're comfortable, close your eyes and just relax with me. And know this with me, that your dreams and prayers, they arise from the soul. But the soul needs a body to act in order to fulfill these very longings. You are that container, you are that body, you are that vessel. And transformation comes when you unite intention with action. There are openings and ideas every day. What do you do when you get these gifts from God? Are you willing to seize the day? Or do you continue to sleepwalk with the masses? Today, I ask you to unlock the door to your creativity. What would be your dream for the day? For 2 blocks down? For 2 months? What would be your dream? If you unlock this door to your creativity, what would you find? Are you willing to look? Will you see your life through a wider lens? Can you take a panoramic view of tomorrow? And are you willing to allow your soul to show you the way? Embrace the mystery, the magical, the the unknown. And know that there is indeed a power in this universe, and you can use it. And when you're comfortable, and when you're ready, come back to this room, or wherever you are in your environment. Okay, I will again thank all of you for all of your donations that have been coming in. You definitely are keeping our doors open, and we so appreciate that. And our offertory prayer. The love of God inspires me to give in a spirit of generosity. I give with love and joy to ensure the growth of this ministry and this Unity Center. And so it is, and thank you, God. And thank you, all of you beautiful people. So, announcements. Again, the Men's Fellowship and Women's Circle of Friends are on hold for now. And so Safe Harbor of Sheboygan, Safe Harbor of Sheboygan is going to be our holiday gift drive. I will get out a clear memo on that. I saw that it was a little difficult to read, but here's the basic line. They have a whole bunch of things on their website, 75 gifts, and it's very confusing, but a lot of people are asking for gift cards. So what the board and I discussed was doing oh, you have things right there.
I made some things.
You made some things, okay. So the board and I discussed, and what we're going to do is gift cards. So our goal, our intention is to collect 25 gift cards. They can be $10, $15, $25. And what we put out on the Great Happenings was we needed 3 of each, 4 of each, whatever. It really doesn't matter. What they were asking for was Kohl's, Target, and Walmart. Because what happens a lot of times is as the women and children find a safe place to live when they move out of Safe Harbor, then they do need these gift cards to go get things for food and things for their bathrooms and kitchens and things. So we figured that that would be the easiest gift. But also so that I could put them in little gift bags. If you were out and you have all of those small things that you could buy, toothpaste and shampoo and conditioners, little things, if you could just buy a few of those and bring them into, and then I'll make little gift bags, and that way we drop off gift bags rather than just the cards. So I'm asking you to be generous. We have so much. I mean, I probably, sinfully so, have 4 or 5 bottles of shampoo open in my house at once, which I can only use 1 bottle at a time. So yeah, so let's pull back on what we call waste and be a little more generous and share, because these women and children that are in Safe Harbor come there mostly, unfortunately, with the clothes on their back. Well, let's be generous, let's be giving. We can't do the big meals, so take some of that money from the groceries you're not gonna buy and use it for good. Okay, Tom needs help. Tom needs a lot of help. Tom's smiling at me. Okay, so we decided not to put up the huge, big tree this year because that's a lot of people in a close environment and it's not social distancing. So I have a small 7-foot tree that I bought last year and decorations, and I already put up a little 3-foot tree. So Tom is going to pick that up. He's going to need help and take my Christmas decorations, which are in much smaller containers, and put that up. Also, the outside lights need to go on, and the angel needs to go out. And so I would ask you, or Tom, do you want to speak to that at all, rather than me? Or
We're gonna do it Thursday at 1:30.
Oh, I didn't know that. We're doing this Thursday at 1:30. Thursday, 1:30. All of you people, Thursday, 1:30. Do we get that? Okay, so Thursday at 1:30. what am I doing Thursday, 1:30 something, a meeting? Okay, so please come help. You have your mask on. For those that don't want to be inside, you can be outside doing the lights. We can open all of these windows. All of our windows open now, so we'll have cross ventilation. And we're not going to decorate downstairs. We'll tell you, Leanne did offer to come and do that, and I told her no, we never used the downstairs for all of the beautiful decorations she did for Thanksgiving. So at this point, sadly, we're just going to decorate up here and outside and do that. So please, 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 those of you that are not working and are free, come, bring your mask, and let's do the best we can to have a happy holiday in here. Zoom Book Club begins this Wednesday. It's interesting. I've read this book 2 times, and now I'm in the middle of it again for the 3rd time, and every time I read it, it is so amazing. It's just an amazing book. So it's Zoom. You have to let Jules know because she'll be sending out the invitation on Tuesday with the button to push to connect with us on that. If you need the book now, you kind of need to order it because it's too late for us to order it for you, but we will if you want us to. Okay. Christmas caroling. This is what we all decided, the board and me. We were thinking about, we would like to, and Renee, if you're listening, I need you to make us a sign, a big thing like this on a rack that says Unity Spiritual Center. And to go to a festival, and we need at least 10 people, so please again let Jules know, or myself. And we're going to sing there. We're going to go to the Salvation Army, and we're going to get one of their kettles. So while we're singing, we'll be able to collect money for the Salvation Army and sing for about an hour or so. It's the same songs that are in the books that we do every single year. They're simple. We know them. Tom will lead us. We all have great voices, so let's just do that. So Jules needs to know she doesn't need to know who's helping Tom, but she needs to know who's caroling. What else? Is there anything else you need? Oh, and to let us know if you're going to do the gift cards, bring them in, mail them in, and also little shampoos, conditioners, body wash, toothpaste, toothbrushes, all those kind of little things, and little soaps, anything. All right, did I get it all? Got it all?
What's the name of the book? The new book?
Pardon?
What's the name of the new book?
Oh, the Einstein and the Rabbi. Oh. Einstein and the Rabbi, and it's about searching for your soul. And it's a true story. It's not, it's novel true story, back and forth kind of thing. Okay. All right, anybody have anything they want to share? We're good? We're good to go? We're good to go. All right, love you guys. All right, I'll see you next week. We'll be singing Christmas carols, and yeah, we'll start that. It's already 2 more Sundays, and we'll be talking about the event, the day, so it'll be great. I'll see you then. See you all on Thursday. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Be safe, be well.